'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still.
Hello, Mrs. John Carlos. Hello, my student from Pioneer Middle School. What a surprise! Just a few days ago, I got the whole package here, with all the thank you cards in it. I have a few moments to tell you how much this means to me. I also got something for my friend who Vietnam veteran, Paul Griot. I'm gonna give this to Paul. Look at all the cards I have here. I want to go through all these, every single card that I have here, just to tell you that I thank you for sending the cards. And this is just like $1 million present for me, just in time for the Father's Day. Thank you. I got a little can opener from the teachers. Thank you. I have this first card here made by Jillian. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you so much for coming into my classroom and telling me your story. That must be hard and scary to go through. Enjoy listening to you, to your story, and have a great interest in it. Thank you so much, sincerely, Jillian, with an American flag in it. Here is from Joey. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for giving your time to tell me about your childhood, from Joey. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for taking the time to come and speak to our class. Your life story was interesting, and I respect and admire you for serving our country. Sincerely, Matt from Matt. Dear Dr. Duhua, Vietnam, thank you for coming to our class and teaching us. Signed, Nicholas Ramirez. Thank you so much. To Dr. Duhua, it was a pleasure to have you in my class. I have an awesome time listening to your presentation. Soon I would buy your book. Thank you, Pero Cordero. And the car also said, yeah, you do the nicest thing for people, and you are appreciated more than you know. Wow, beautiful. Thank you. Viviana, to Dr. Duhua. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you very much for coming to speak to my class about your time serving in the war. You are very inspirational, and your words were genuine and passionate. I found your story fascinating and have looked more into the Vietnam War as well. Many thanks, Viviana. Thank you, Viviana. It's another one from Laura. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for visiting my class. Your story was extremely interesting. It was the first time I have got to hear a story from Vietnam, from Laura. Dr. Duhua, you are a great man, and I truly enjoyed your speech. Your talk was exciting, and you keep me at the edge of my seat. Your story was incredible, and you will always be a hero in my eyes. Wow, Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for taking your time to come and volunteer at my school and share your life story. Thank you for supporting our country. This is from Natalie. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for your time serving for our country. We know the Vietnam War was tough. Thank you for serving in the U.S. Navy. We know how hard it was to escape to come to the USA. Thank you for your time to come and talk to us. I can't wait to read your book, from Michael O'Hara. Wow, Olivia. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you so much for coming to my class to speak of your incredible, unforgettable escape to the United States. I really enjoy the expression as you told your story. It made me feel almost as if I have lived right there alongside with you. Wow, I could not imagine the things you went through as a young child. I was amazed to see you talk about such horror, but to live with it is unimaginable. I truly enjoyed your life story and was very interesting the whole time. I very much appreciate you talking to my class. It really was an experience I will never forget. Thank you. Ovian. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you so much for coming to our class to talk to us about your escape to freedom. You are an inspiration to many people. God bless you. Olivia V. Olivia. Dear Mr. Duhua, I appreciate you coming to our class and teaching us your story from Gina with a heart and American flag. Thank you, Dr. Duhua. Thank you so much for coming to our school. Your story had a huge impact on my life. I really enjoyed your visit. You are a hero. Thanks, Olivia. Wow, look at this, Olivia. Thank you. Dr. Duhua, thank you for coming to our class and speak about your experience. I learned a lot, and so did my parents when I told them your story. Regards, Sebastian. Thank you, Sebastian. Wow. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for coming to our class and telling us your amazing story. I really want to get your book and read it. Love your accents. Hope to see you soon. Very cute. From Annie. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for coming and sharing your story with us. I learned so much. I can't believe you went through that in your life. You imagine from Madison. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for sharing your own personal story with us. I really enjoy listening to it. You really make the story come alive. I felt like I was escaping with you. Your story was amazing, and I plan to read your book in the future. Thank you for everything. Sincerely, Kimber Couch. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you so much for coming to our class to speak. Your story was very interesting. I look forward to reading your book. Sincerely, Michael. The concept, you certainly have mastered the art of thoughtfulness. Wow, nice. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you so much for coming to our class and telling your story. You have been through a lot. Thank you for serving in the US Navy. Your story is one that inspires me to never give up. Can't wait to read your book from Taylor. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you so much for coming to our classroom and sharing your story with us. I feel bad for what you have gone through. I am also amazed at how brave you were to join the Navy after you were free. The world needs more people, good people like you. Sincerely, Ronton. Dr. Duhua, thank you for coming to our class and telling us your story. I really appreciate it. Harmony from first period, and she draw a little boat with a thank you flag on it. Thank you. You're from Annie Clark. Thank you so much, Dr. Duhua, for coming and sharing your interesting and fascinating story with me and class. Thank you for serving our country and talking about Vietnam War. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for sharing your memories about Vietnam with us. I learned a lot about how hard it was to get away from the communists. Oh wow! Thank you, Zachary. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for speaking. Thank you for spending your time with us. It was an honor to hear your story about your experience during the Vietnam War. I really am glad you came to our class. Dear Dr. Du Hua, thank you for teaching us your story about how you came to America. Your story was very touching. Thank you so much for your help. A little kindness makes such a difference in a day. And the call also said, your thoughtfulness certainly make a difference in mine. Thanks again. Dr. Hua, thank you for your telling us about your life in the Vietnam. Dear Dr. Du Hua, thank you for taking your time to come to Mr. John Carlos' class to talk to us. But mostly thank you for serving our country. Love, Cindy Leon. Beautiful. Thank you. Dr. Du Hua, thank you for coming and sharing your amazing story with the class. Thank you for also serving our country. Yada, life above cheering. Beautiful. And a heart because of nice people like you. Dr. Carson. Dear Dr. Du Hua, thank you so much about coming to our class and telling us how your life was and how you accomplished so many things. You inspired me, and thank you for that. Thanks a lot, Emily. Dear Dr. Du Hua, thank you so much for coming to talk to our class about your escape to America. Thank you also for serving and fighting for our country. Finally, thank you for taking time off to come and speak to our class about your adventure. It means so much to us. From Lauren. No, you will imagine for coming to fight for America. Unbelievable. Dear Dr. Du Hua, I'm so sorry what you have gone through. Love, Kimberly. Also, you are very brave and smart and clever to come here. And it's sad you had to leave your family and learn the new language. Very thoughtful. Dear Dr. Du Hua, thank you so much for coming in and speak with us, with our class. Your story was amazing, and I'm so glad that you took your time and tell us all about it. Thank you for serving our country. Love, Easy. Dear Dr. Du Hua, thank you so much for coming into my class and tell us your story. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you again, Love. Sarah. Dear Dr. Du Hua, thank you for telling me and my class about your story. I'm sorry you had to go through this. I now know more about the war and South Vietnam. Thank you for coming in on your own will to educate us. We love you and we'll never forget you. Sincerely, Gray. The closet, your kindness is special, and so are you. Dear Dr. Du Hua, I'm deeply sorry for the hardship you had to go through, and I'm honored to have gotten to meet you. Your visit makes grateful for the things I have. Sincerely, Asher. Thank you. Special thanks to you. Kind hearts in the gardens. Kind thoughts are the roots. Kind words are the flowers. Kind deeds are the fruits. To Dr. Du Hua, thinking of you and giving thanks for the wonderful person you are. I thank you for writing that wonderful book I read. I read it and I liked it very much. Also, thank you for telling me and my class your sad life story. From Leah L. Dear Dr. Du Hua, thank you for coming to my class and talking about your experiences. It was very informative. From Ria, Dr. Du Hua, you are terrific. Thank you so much for sharing your story with my class. It's very special to me. Once again, thanks. Angelina. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for taking your time to teach us about your adventures. Thank you for serving the military for our country. I am sorry to hear that all your friends died from Fernando. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you so much for coming to our class and taking the time to come and talk to us. It was very interesting and I like hearing about it. I learned a lot. It was fun. Thank you, Dr. Duhua, for telling about your childhood and how the people destroyed in your city. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for coming to our school. Your story was amazing and inspiring. Thank you for serving our country. Sincerely, Ryan. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for coming to our school and telling us your story. It was very interesting and sad too. All the things you went through were very scary. You were very informative about the Vietnam War. Thank you, Braden. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for telling me about your time serving in the US Navy. Your story was great. From Farah. Thank you, Dr. Duhua. I really appreciate that you came to our classroom for free and teaching and fascinating us with your life story in Vietnam and your life in America. I also really liked your job as an engineer for the planes. I just want to say you are a very interesting man with a fascinating story, and I wanted to thank you for telling it to us. Also, your book was very interesting. Sincerely, Anthony, straight from the heart. Thank you, Dr. Duhua, for coming to our school and telling us your amazing story. I am truly grateful that you came to my school. Thank you. Alex, thank you, Dr. Duhua. We appreciate for what you told us. You told us that you were a Vietnamese youngster and that you escaped from Vietnam. Love, classmate, Natalie. And the car answer said, even though you didn't have to do it, you did it anyway. And it was much appreciated. Dr. Duhua, you are a hero. You escaped to USA. You went to a beautiful country. I am from Peru. This person from Peru. But I love this country. It is fantastic and magical. Thank you. You are brave to escape to the United States of America. Thank you so much for your time. It really means a lot to me and my class. Your story was really touching. And the pictures, I'm going to buy your book. It looks really good. You are a brave man. And you are so nice and caring. Also, thank you. It really means a lot from your friend, Morgan. Happy Memorial Day. Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Duhua, for coming to our class, educating us about the Vietnam War before you came. I knew nearly nothing about the war. Thank you. Dr. Duhua, thank you so much for coming to our class and telling us your interesting story about Vietnam War. You touched my heart and make me realize what you guys have to go through. Just letting you know, you are my favorite guest speakers. Love, Isabella. Thank you. From Thomas to Dr. Duhua. Wow, look the way he makes. He's very creative. The American flag, Navy SEAL, Veteran Army, Air Force, South Vietnam, and in the middle with the thing he make here. Thank you for serving our country. Beautiful, Haina. How creative it is. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for taking your time to teach us and tell us things about the war. We really appreciate it. Sincerely, Lauren. Thank you for coming in and sharing your story of growing up in Vietnam and the escape from Vietnam. I really enjoy your story. It was very nice of you to come in and share the story. Thank you. Benjamin, dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for teaching us about the Vietnam War. Thank you also for signing my yearbook from Maya Baron. Thank you. Wow, my pleasure. Dear Dr. Duhua, thank you for coming to our school and telling about your story in Vietnam. Love, Sierra. Dear Dr. Dua, thank you very much for teaching about your experience in southern Vietnam and helping serve us in the U.S. Navy from Victoria. Thank you, Dr. Duhua, from telling us about your interesting story. What you went through was unimaginable. Thank you for serving our country. Best of wishes. Nice. This is Juliana, Mr. Duhua. Thank you for telling us your life story. Escape from Vietnam. It was a fascinating story of your escape. Thank you from volunteer ASCU to tell us from your friend Ecuador. Yes, Dr. Duhua, thank you so much for coming to our class. This means so much to me. I got all these calls a few days ago, but I waited until for Father's Day. I hope my teaching there means something to you all. Thank you so much. God bless.
At Pioneer Middle School, and we'd like to say,
thank you, our veterans, for our freedom. We love you.
Students at Pioneer Middle School, and we would like to say,
Thank you, our veterans, for our freedom. We love you.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the